size statues of presidents of the United States. Over here, we only have the ones that visit the island of Puerto Rico during their presidency, and they stayed overnight in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
That means that you can be a president, you can visit the island. If you don't stay overnight, you're not having a statue.
That's
Simple
good.
as that, okay? Teddy Roosevelt, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Gerald Ford, and Barack Obama. Those are the ones that stayed overnight during their presidency in the island of Puerto Rico, okay? Behind Harry S. Truman and Dwight Eisenhower, there's a black semicircle. If you walk downstairs, you're gonna find all the names of all the Puerto Ricans who lost their lives in a military line of duty of the United States. Over there we have the what it's known as the Puerto Rican Memorial Wall Monument, okay? Then behind Barack Obama, there's a little trail that takes you to the Puerto Rican Identity Plaza. That plaza is dedicated to Taino Indian women, African women, and Spanish women. The mix of those three different cultures creates what is known as the Puerto Ricans today. Taino Indians, Africans, and Spaniards, okay? And then over here to the left, we have this beautiful building that if you walk to the front, you're gonna be able to see it way better. That's the Capitol building of the island of Puerto Rico. It's all marble, inside and outside.
Whoa.
There's 21 different types of marble. Outside, it's all Georgia white. Inside, there's marble from North Spain, Portugal, Africa, and Carrara marble from Italy, which is the most expensive marble in the world. It was built between 1924 and 1929. It was closed in 1960 and then reopened in 1961 with a lot of renovations where they add over 1 million of Venetian mosaics, little tiles, painted by hand with 24 karat Italian gold details on it. Super impressive building. We're not allowed to go inside. They have their own tour guides inside, so we need to book a tour with them and all that. It's a procedure. It's like going to customs, okay? But amigos, it's impressive. And this building, it's divided in two different sides or two different chambers. One side we have the House of Representatives, and in the other side we have the Senate of the island of Puerto Rico. So basically this is where all the politicians say they work, right? You never know what they're doing, right? Puerto Rico has 78 towns. There's a mayor in each town. 78 mayors in the island. 27 senators and 41 representatives. We have this position in our government that it's known as the Commissioner Resident. That position represents the island of Puerto Rico at the Congress, but they don't have a vote, only representation. And then we have the government, okay? So sounds like way too many politicians for 3.2 million residents, right? Now let's see how, let me move to the front. Nobody there now. And on the meantime, there's a little trestle. It's gonna be like an orange trestle. If you want to take some pictures, we have the presidents over here, and then you're gonna have a better view of the Capitol building to the left.
Oh, wow, look at the building.
All right, my friends.
Are we getting out? Yeah, we're getting out. Okay.
It's up to you if you want to take a quick snap. Take your time. I'm not going to give you any certain amount of minutes because it's raining.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to run back to the bus when it's time. It's where the TV show The Flying Nun was filmed. Remember Sally Fields, right? Right over there. And look at the gas prices. $1.17. 117 looks beautiful, right? But it's not. That's per liter. So we have to multiply that by 3.78. At 117, we're paying about $4.40 per gallon, which is not crazy bad. How much you're paying in LA?
$8.
$8? Wow. What if I tell you, well, in Canada it's very expensive, especially in Newfoundland.
Ours is $1.97 a liter.
$1.97 a liter
Right now, yeah.
in Newfoundland, Canada. So I can say that we're not, our gas prices are not crazy bad. But we are paying in Puerto Rico, and hold on to your seats, $7 for a gallon of milk. 1 gallon of milk, it's not a whole cow, it's 1 gallon of milk. $7, okay? Yeah, it sounds like there's only 3 cows in Puerto Rico, right? But that's not the problem. The problem is that there's only 2 dairy companies in Puerto Rico. One of those dairy companies, it's owned by a former governor of the island, and the other one is owned by his son. So they have a monopoly that they're going to build inside of the old San Juan. Why? Because we want to preserve the Spanish architecture. If we keep building condos inside of the old San Juan, it's going to take away that feeling of being the second oldest city in the New World. Over 500 years old. All the Spanish architecture, all that is going to disappear. We don't want that to happen because that's what people want to see. If we keep building condos, like I like to say, in 5 years, it's going to look like this place over here to the left. We don't want that, okay? Right now, amigos, we're about to cross this bridge. And the bridge that we're going to cross, it's the one that takes us to the new San Juan. If we look to the right, you can see the curtain all the way to the end. The marina. This is the Bay of San Juan. Yes, we still have Sizzlers in the island. And we still have Ponderosa and Bonanza. So we have all of them, okay? We have everything. Olive Garden, Longhorn. They recently opened a Krispy Kreme like 2 minutes walking away from home. That's a problem. Now, if we look to the left, there's a bridge. And the bridge to the left, it's the one that takes us back inside of the old San Juan. So like I was telling you, the old San Juan is a small island and it's connected by a bridge to the new San Juan. Right now we're in the main island of Puerto Rico. This area is known as the new San Juan. Over here to the right hand side, we have Miramar community. To the left hand side, we have a freshwater lagoon and Condado community. In both of these neighborhoods, you're gonna find doctor offices, lawyers, schools, grocery stores, you name it. Any first floor apartment in any of these condos to the right hand side goes for $500,000. $500,000, $600,000. This house was recently sold at $3.5 million. Okay? So it's a very expensive neighborhood. But if you think that this area is expensive, let's take a look over here to the left. Any first floor apartment to the left goes for $1.5 million. They recently sold a 3-story penthouse with an infinity pool on the roof and bathtub and basketball court and everything. $30 million. So we do have those properties in the island now. A lot of people ask me, why this area here to the left is so exclusive and so expensive? My friends, over here we have casinos, we have hotels, restaurants, bars, clubs, shops, beach area, and everything opens 24 hours, 7 days a week. Wow. So if you want to live where the nightlife is, you have to pay the price for it. If you just want some peace of mind, in this light, we're going to turn to the right, and we're going to keep driving another hour, and we're going to find a beautiful house in a very quiet neighborhood, all in cement, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage, half an acre of land, for $280,000, $300,000. A house like that pays maybe what, $2,000 a year in property taxes, which is not bad. That sounds affordable. But it's affordable for some people, not for everybody. Minimum wage in the island of Puerto Rico, it's $10 an hour. And we are paying $7 for milk. That means that somebody that works in a gas station or by the minimum has to work 1 hour to buy a gallon of milk in Puerto Rico. So if you put it that way, it sounds crazy.
Waffle Avenue. Hey, pigeons. Silver Key. Yeah. Steps છે જાણું છું સંભાળ જો slippery when wet. Slippery છે આ વાલા
I was not expecting it. Compared to
તો એ મોંઘું બી થઈ ગયું ને અમેરિકા જેટલો જ ભાવ છે કબૂતરો જો કેટલા બેઠા છે બિલ્ડિંગ પર જાઓ કબૂતરો એજ પર big fat pigeons. અરે બેન એન્ડ જેરીસ છે આઈસ્ક્રીમ જોયો છો એટલે આ બેરીઓ ખાઈ રહી છે ઓલરેડી આ કોન્ડોમિનિયમ ડાયરેક્ટ બીચ પર જ છે નો વન્ડર એટલા મોંઘા છે બૂટ મેલા થશે સેન્ડમાં જશો This is Porto Rico beach and these are the condominiums as usual they are $1 million and up and they're serene enjoying the Puerto Rican atmosphere. These are the pigeons. This is the old San Juan. So Puerto Rico has two sections of the city. One is old and one is new. So this is the new section. But the ship is docked at the old city, okay? ચાલ કયો ફ્લેવર જોઈએ જ I can't very betty. I can't to the statue.
खाऊं तो ले लेगा हम ना
Okay. You want to slippery, huh? Mud.
And it was built by the Vanderbilt family back in 1919. They never used it. It was abandoned for 80 years. It was renovated, they reopened it in 2005 as a big hotel, and we're talking about $2,000 a night. We're talking about very exclusive hotel. And as you can see, there's a lot of renovations, development around here. They're working our tax money. I can see it working. This plaza, amigos, was destroyed when the hurricane hit the island. Waves over here went up to 30 feet for 10 hours. 180 miles an hour winds for 15 hours. The whole thing was destroyed, amigos. The whole island was completely destroyed. We're talking about 5,000 dead. 5,000. During and in the aftermath, there was no roads. The infrastructure collapsed. So there was no roads for the delivery trucks to deliver the diesel to the gas station, to the generators at the hospital. So a lot of people died. I was without power 8 months. And I was without running water 5 months. Unemployed 2.5 years.
Yeah, I thought Trump fixed it with paper towels.
I mean, the unemployment in Puerto Rico was $60 a week. What are you gonna do with $60 a week? I mean, it was a big disaster. I mean, now take a look over here to the right-hand side. You're gonna see my favorite beach area in San Juan. Look at this.
Waiting.
Look at that, my friends. Okay, well protected by law, by federal laws and local laws. Okay. So I'm going to explain you what we have over here, and then I'm going to give you a couple of minutes so you can take pictures, okay? Now, you notice that there's a lot of rock over there. Look at this building that has a ship shape. Looks like a big cruise ship, right? Long story short, there was a wealthy family from Puerto Rico in France on a cruise ship known as the Normandy. And they were so impressed with that cruise ship that they decided to build a hotel with the same specifications. Wealthy people, huh? They don't know where to spend that money. Oldest hotel in Puerto Rico, inaugurated in 1942, and it ran out of business in 2007. Right now it's under renovations, and the company renovating that hotel, it's also renovating this park over here, where we have a track and field area, soccer field, American football field, baseball park, basketball court, volleyball court, boxing stadium, swimming pool, and a public beach. And this park was inaugurated in 1979 to celebrate the Pan American Games that they were hosted for the first time in the island. We as U.S. citizens, we can represent the island of Puerto Rico, or we can represent the United States in every sport competition. That includes Olympics, Pan American Games, Central American Games, Caribbean Games, World Baseball Classic, even beauty pageants.
What? Beauty pageant?
Puerto Rico, amigos.
Beauty pageant.
Let's say that Venezuela is in the first place. Of course, they have 35 million residents, and they have 9 Miss Universes. But Puerto Rico only have 3.2 million residents, and we have 7.
Wow.
So I like to say that we're in the first place. Now, we're approaching the colonial side of San Juan, and right now it's time to start talking a little bit about the history of the island of Puerto Rico. Let's start saying that in every textbook and everywhere you look, said that Puerto Rico was discovered by Christopher Columbus.
No.
Let's start saying that that's not true. Why? Because you can't discover a place if you're lost and there's people living there. Right? You just get there, brother. I mean, you don't discover it. It was already discovered. You just colonize it. And I like to say that Christopher Columbus and the Spanish government colonized the island of Puerto Rico in November 1493. They got here, they start fighting against the native tribe, the Taíno Indians, and they took some of the Indians as slaves, the other, they start moving around the island, but then they started constructions of the forts in the early months of the year 1500. There were not enough food in the island to feed the slaves and the Spaniards. Getting attacked while they were building the forts, and on top of all that, getting sick with all the diseases like flu, viruses, and everything that was introduced to the New World by the Spaniards. So between 1590 and 1610, the Spanish government starts sending to the island Africans to work in the forts as slaves. And that's where the Puerto Rican came from. Mixed between Indians, Africans, and Spaniards. Now, to the left-hand side, we have the north side of the Capitol building. Same building that we saw from the other side. This is the north side. It's the only Capitol building in the world that has a beachfront. And it's the only one that has a statue of St. John the Baptist here to the right, doing something to the politicians. Now, if we look to the left, we're going to be able to see the cruise ships. You can see it from here, right? So that means that we're very close to the cruise ship area, and we're very close to the port in San Juan. Now, Indians, Africans, and Spaniards create the Puerto Ricans, amigos. All this, everything in the old San Juan took 247 years to build. But this fort over here took 175 years to build. This is San Cristobal Fort, the largest ever built. My friends, impressive, without machineries, without heavy equipment, all by hand. And after 500 years, still standing like nothing happened. That tells you that, look at the parrot.
The what?
Puerto Rican parrot. We just passed it, what she was like eating on the grass. Amigos, back in the days, they built things to last. Right now, they build things, and in 6 months, you have to buy the replacement part to the same people who build it. So, now we're taking the only two-way street in the old San Juan. Everything else around the old city is a one-way street. The old San Juan was designed for carriages and horses, was not designed for cars. That's why there's only one two-way street over here. Now, take a look over here to the right-hand side. Look how impressive it is. All built by hand. And from up here, now you can understand why the Spanish army decided to build the forts up here. They have the height advantage, and they can see all the ships approaching the island, and they can attack before they get too close. The wall of San Juan that we were talking about was this wall over here to the right. 6 miles long, 100 feet high, 18 feet thick. Every openings on the wall is where the cannons used to be. 468 cannons. 247 years under construction. Down here to the right, we have La Perla, which is the second oldest neighborhood in the island of Puerto Rico, the oldest in the old San Juan, okay? 200 families lived over there, okay? There's restaurants and everything down there, but their main business is drug dealing down there, so if you don't need to go down there, don't go down there. Now, everything in Puerto Rico was appointed by the Spanish government for 400 years. In those 400 years, 60 wars against Dutch, England, France, and pirates until July 1898, when the United States took over the island of Puerto Rico, Juan, Philippines, and Cuba during the Spanish-American War, my friends. That means that Puerto Rico has been part of the nation since 1898. Oklahoma was introduced to the nation in 1907. New Mexico in 1912. Hawaii and Alaska in 1959. We have been part of the nation way before some states become states, but we are not a state. We were second-class citizens until 1917. 1917, the United States was jumping in the First World War. They give us the official citizenship. That way that we're gonna get drafted automatically. Everything in Puerto Rico was appointed by the U.S. for 50 years. From 1898 until 1948, when we held elections for the first time, and we elect Luis Muñoz Marin. Quick stop there, and we look to the left. You can see a big cotton pole up there with something sticking out of it. Those are Indian handcrafts that they found when they were digging the plaza, and after all the archaeological work, they decided to put it back over here where they were found. I'm just waiting for... Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, this lady over here behind me, I mean, she's trying to go around me for miles. But this is how people from other parts of the island goes around San Juan, and they have parties and everything. In one of these buses, without insurance, without air conditioner, without anything. Then over here to the right hand side, we are going to find the oldest cemetery of the island of Puerto Rico, Santa Maria Magdalena de Pazzi, from 1849, and all the way to the front of us, which is going to be now to the left hand side once I turn over here. San Felipe del Morro, that it took 136 years, but this is the one that you see in every advertisement, every picture. That's the one that you saw going into the Bay of San Juan this morning. But the other one, it's 10 times bigger than this one.